So, I have some breaking news for you guys that you are definitely going to want to hear. Automatic registration for U.S. military draft to begin in December. But, guys, it does not begin in December. That's when it's going to be wrapped up. But let me play this video really quickly they have here, and then we'll get into the details.
No other president has shown the courage and resolve of this commander in chief. President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the President truth this morning, a big day for world peace.
Okay, so they're not saying much, but you guys know the ceasefire I've told you was not a go. I knew it would not be anything at all. I knew it would not go through. Guys, I've told you where this is. We are in the last days, but it says here eligible men will automatically be registered into the military draft pool by December as part of an effort to streamline the previous process of self registration and save money. The Selective Service System, the government agency that maintains a database of men to be called up to serve in the case of a national emergency, submitted a proposed rule to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs on March 30th. Most men between the ages of 18 and 25 are already required to register with the Selective Service, but automatic registration was mandated in December of 2025 as part of the fiscal 2026 National Defense Authorization Act. The change, which was meant to save money, transfers responsibility for registration from individual men to SSS through integration with federal data sources. They know everything about you guys. Welcome to the surveillance state. So you don't even have to register. They're going to find you and automatically register you in this. And yeah, there's a lot more to it. I actually reported on this last year when I saw some changes that were going through, and actually comes from 2024. And I've done 2 videos on this now. Maybe I'll link it at the end, but we'll see. So, the proposed rule is currently under review by the Regulatory Affairs Office and awaiting finalization. Yes, it will go, that will be done. Have no doubt about it. The U.S. has not had a draft since the Vietnam War, with military service being voluntary since 1973. But former President Jimmy Carter in 1980 reinstated the Selective Service in the event of a national emergency, where the registry could be used to provide personnel to the Department of War an alternative service for conscientious objectors, if authorized by the president and Congress. Many have questioned whether a military draft could take place amid the war in Iran, which is currently in a tenuous, wait, 2 week ceasefire. They're not in the ceasefire anymore, guys. They're bombing each other it's insane. It's insane what is going on. If you've been following the reports, the ones that I've been providing, yeah, there is no ceasefire. It's just it's just crazy. All right, so let's keep going. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt in March said that while a draft is not part of the current plan right now, President Trump wisely keeps his options on the table. I actually see it coming because there's not enough men signing up for the military, and right now morale is super low within the military, and it has been for many years. They have been under recruiting. But with this now, I don't see recruitment by any stretch of the imagination picking up. So, what other way are they going to get men to join the military? Well, it's going to be under a draft. That is just my personal opinion. That I just see the writing on the wall. Pretty much everything that I predicted last year has already taken place. I predicted this war. I predicted all of these things. And I don't say that to pat myself on the back, guys. No, no, not at all. I'm just saying it just to I'm just kind of like talking to myself. Like, yeah, when these things come to you, when they show up, when they don't do these without reason, right? And as I think through it and I cross compare to other information that I know, some things I haven't even reported on, I don't see any other way they're going to get the recruitment numbers up, and so they're going to have to draft. It's just part of it. Um So Trump alone, though, understand, he cannot bring back the draft through the draft through executive action, as Congress would need to pass legislation to amend the Selective Service Act to authorize the president to induct personnel into the military. I know this Democrat versus Republican and all. I am telling you, they're going to all fall in line. It's going to be just enough votes, whatever's going to be needed in order to do this. I I can guarantee. Still, failure to register in the draft is considered a crime and can prevent people from receiving state funded financial aid and employment in numerous states, cause ineligibility for many federal employment opportunities and job training under the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and can carry, guys, a fine of up to $250,000 and jail time for up to 5 years. Now, why do I say that left and right? This is going to push forward. I told you, left and right, two wings of the same bird in the government. It just is, guys. This is how it's always been. Many people are waking up to it now, but I tell you, if you did you trust the government? You trust them with the Epstein files? You trust them, like, you have to start to think clearly through this and see the games that they play in the theater. And case in point, here is Chuck Schumer. And I want you to listen to what he's saying. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, they all are working towards a goal. And I told you, New World Order is coming, but a lot of people call it the Great Reset, New World Order. It is the beast system that was always supposed to happen.
The bottom line is that Iran still has its nuclear stockpile, its nuclear ambitions. Iran still has its nuclear stockpile. Its nuclear ambitions are still unchecked, if not accelerated. And finally, American credibility. The nations of the world are furious at Trump. The Europeans, the Asians, even the Middle Eastern allies. They say, what the hell is he doing? And the United States' diplomatic position and credibility in the world is dramatically worse because of this war. So just in summary, this war has made us worse off today than before it started. The war made us worse in terms of control of the Strait of Hormuz. The war made us worse in terms of the strength of the Iranian regime. The war made us worse in terms of high gas prices. The war made us worse because Iran's nuclear ambitions have been unchecked. And the war made us worse because American credibility is down the drain.
Good grief. Does he need new glasses?
The bottom line is
He was completely bent over. But I want you, they will attack Trump. They will attack the right in order to gain political points. But notice he's saying that Iran is still a threat. Iran still has nuclear capabilities. You guys know I don't believe that nukes are real. I just don't. I have talked about it. I've shown some evidence of it, but I probably need to break that down further. That is just my personal belief. I just have seen how they've used it as a scare tactic to keep the populations under control. I've seen how they've used it in order just like control us, get bills passed, legislation, have us behave in certain ways. And I told you, the further you dig into anything the government says or tells us, guys, it's all a lie, like all of history. I always tell people, just look at the world's fairs. It as a starting point. Just look at what's happening with NASA. I mean, it is just a complete clown show. And people who would previously call us, all of us, conspiracy theorists and we're tinfoil and all that. Well, a lot of these people who are, in this cult of NASA, even they are waking up and saying, none of this makes sense. The footage is terrible. I don't understand the Van Allen belt. That's outside of the firmament being there, as we know. But it is just it's just a disaster across the board, and we're seeing it again, even with the Epstein files, which I believe that is what woke most people up. Now, let me show you this. I want you to remember this just happened Okay. The U.S. Army has quietly raised the maximum enlistment age from 34 to 42, effective March 20th, 2026. The change applies to both first time applicants and those with prior military service. And buried in the same update, the Army is eliminating the waiver requirement for a single marijuana conviction or drug paraphernalia conviction. Because there's a lot of young people saying, well, I'll just smoke and weed and I'll just get a conviction. Like they would rather go to jail, but it's not going to be easy. You're not going to be able to escape it. Just like the mark of the beast, people who are left behind will not be able to escape it. In order to function in society, they have said it that you will have to have a digital ID by 2028, and that is ramping up now. They just gave Bill Gates he's able now to build a nuclear facility. It's in. I mean, the things that are coming out. If you thought the pandemic and the lockdowns from that were bad, this energy crisis, which I told you, they are strategically hitting energy infrastructure. They are hitting, medical infrastructure. They're hitting all of the resources that people need to thrive because they want to do depopulation, right? And they have many different ways to do this. We've been covering that over and over, but I wanted to bring you this information so you can be aware. Now, again, I told you I've done other videos on like details about this. This was last year, I think December 11th, and I just did one a couple weeks ago when the whole 42, they raised the age to 42. But you're going to want to check those out. I'll be sure to link that in the description box. So it's late. I'm not on camera, but I wanted to give this to you. If you want to support the work I have going on here, you can go to realmelanieking.com. That is my merch store where I have a lot of unique merch for men, women. I have mugs, I have conspiracy theory maps, I have the New World Order map, all types of things, right? But then I also have things like this, which a lot of people are waiting for normal to come back. Well, it's not. The God never promised us that the world would get better. He said it would get worse. Jesus himself said it would get worse because it has to. There has to be an appointed end. And right now, you cannot trust a person, place, thing, government, country, state, absolutely nothing. You need to put your trust in Jesus Christ and him alone. So normal isn't coming back. Jesus is, Revelation 14. And then on the back, I have no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Have it in different colors. And like I said, I have it for men and women. And also consider donating to the work that I have here. I guess this is a ministry now. Just that it's just transformed into that. I have that on my website as well. Or you can become as well a member here on YouTube, just a couple bucks a month. And it helps me, do videos like this, keep you informed, wake up the masses as to what is really happening right now with this war. It's not just a normal war. The experts are saying it. The Israel believes, or the Jews, especially the rabbis, believe this is a holy war, that their Messiah is coming now, Messiah. The Muslims believe that their Messiah is coming right now with this holy war because this is ancient Persia. This is actually a repeat of Esther, the book of Esther. If you don't know, it was a war against Israel or the Jews or the Hebrew people and Persia. All right, that's what Haman was. So it's a repeat of it. There's a lot that goes into it as well as there's signs, wonders in the sky that Jesus said would be here before he comes back, with the fireballs, the meteors, the orbs that everyone is seeing now. I see them on a nightly basis. Took some videos tonight. So just understand, I've been studying this and many other people have. And the signs are all here, and no man knows the day or hour, but Jesus himself said we would know the season and that we are supposed to be watching for it. He commanded us to. So that is the ministry. That's what I want to do. Wake up people and try to help them understand, to see this as supernatural, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. But anyway, guys, all of the links will be below in the description box, as well as other ways that you can help support. And yeah, I will see you on the next one.